2018.
Goodbye, 2018.
Bye, so long. I don't know, I had a pretty good 2018. How was your 2018, Jim?
Like every fucking year, this is just the same thing. Nothing changes. We should stop this bullshit about fucking, next year's gonna be the year. Well, no, tomorrow should be the day. Don't wait for a whole new fucking year. Stop wasting time.
Yeah. Time's just an illusion, and it's not grumpy.
I agree.
No, I agree with you, mate. I agree.
You know, you're not gonna wake up on the 1st of January thin in a high-paid job.
Wow, it got dark quick. Happy 2019!
But you could look back to the 2018 and just, be grateful for the experiences and things that have happened to you.
We had a pretty good 2018.
Yeah, we did, because we made it happen. Did we wait a whole fucking year to do that? No.
Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, it took us a year. 2018 was like the culmination of all like the really hard work we put into 2017.
Yes.
And then it flowered. 2018, I think, the highlight for me was the premiere of Little Monster. Went down really well.
Yeah.
Round of applause at the end. Well done a little bit, Jim.
I just felt this pressure go.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, stay away from the light, Jim. Still have the DVDs to make.
Carol Ann!
But what are some things that you enjoyed in 2018?
Well, I enjoyed a few films actually, which come out this year, or last year. One was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Haven't seen, want to see. Gutted.
I mean, there was a lot of talk beforehand who was going to play Freddie Mercury. Sacha Baron Cohen was supposed to have played Freddie Mercury.
As much as I love Mr. Robot, with the guy from Mr. Robot in there, I would have loved to have seen. Yeah.
No, I did. I don't know if this is true, that this is factually correct. But apparently Sacha Baron Cohen wanted to go into the seedier world of Freddie Mercury and kind of explore that.
Right.
Whereas this version of the film, it's more of the overall look at Freddie Mercury and the band Queen as well.
I was going to say, is it...
Because Brian May and the drummer, I forgot his name now, they're like executive producers on the film, so they oversaw every part of it, which is great then, because it's...
So it's not just the Freddie Mercury story, it's Queen.
Yeah, you really get a sense of the band, and what really comes across is how different each member of the band was, but from a purely musical taste, they were all connected by that. They had the same vision of how the band should be, and that never kind of wavered. And that was really cool. A lot of humor, a lot of sadness, and
it's definitely one I'm going to see when it comes out.
Infinity Wars,
that's on mine.
I am guilty because I'm not an avid Marvel film watcher. Like, I'll watch the old one. I think the last one I watched before Infinity Wars was Thor Ragnarok, which I think is probably one of, if not the best superhero movie ever made.
It's up there, definitely.
I absolutely love that film.
Yeah.
So
I watched that with my kids on New Year's Eve. They loved it.
Brilliant.
They were just cracking laughter. Jeff Goldblum, or as my daughter now calls him, Jeff Goblin.
So basically, there are gaps in my watching of the Marvel films. So I had a chat with my housemate who's all up to date with it all. So I kind of made sure that if I watched it, there's nothing I particularly needed to know. So yeah, I watched it, and as expected, a lot of fun. Like really good fun that kids and adults could both enjoy, and I think that's what makes them so great.
Do you know what I think why it's an important film? With Avengers Infinity War, there's never been a film like it. It's been 10 years in the making. They've had all these different films, made separately, and then it all comes together. And then to kind of combine this, and this is what blew my kids away when they watched it as well. We did a double bill of Thor Ragnarok and then straight into Avengers Infinity War. They were like, wait a sec, Spider-Man is in the same film as Iron Man, and then there's the Guardians of the Galaxy. That blew their little minds. And as a kid, if I was a kid growing, I was a kid in the 80s and the 90s, if I'd seen that, then that would have been amazing.
But it was never done, was it? Never been done before.
They couldn't afford to do it. So this massive, and not over just like a crossover between two characters, but the crossover between all of this. And there were things like story seeds that they kind of like sowed back like 10 years ago, which finally paid off in this film. Spoilers, but it's made something like $3 billion, so that must mean that everybody has actually seen Avengers Infinity War. But I love the bummer ending. I how depressing. My kids were in tears.
Yeah.
It was not, in retrospect, it was not the film to watch just before New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, because they were really upset. They were like, "Where is Spider-Man dead?"
Yeah, but it almost goes back to when we discussed Flight of the Navigator. It's okay to upset kids in films, right? It's okay to do that, and I think that kind of builds them up then, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I totally agree with you.
From a structural point of view, it's very similar to Return of the Jedi, because it's just fighting, right? And in Return of the Jedi, you've got Luke versus the Emperor up on the Death Star 2. You've got like Lando leading like the rebellion against the outside the Death Star, right? And then you got Han and Leia down on the planet. And the last hour of Return of the Jedi, probably more than that, probably more like an hour and 20, is just fighting. Yeah, there's no 3-act structure really. It's just fighting. Yeah. And Avengers: Infinity War felt like that. It felt like you've got Tony Stark and the Guardians of the Galaxy over here. You've got like Captain America and Wakanda with Black Panther over here. All these different pieces, and it didn't feel like a traditional structure. And then the biggest film in the world, which I think at that time budgetary wise and box office it was, to leave it on such a downer note, even knowing that obviously story elements will get resolved, was so brave.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And to balance all those kind of little subplots and the whole story and everybody's character and backstory, that was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it. Deadpool 2, enjoyed that film. I was looking forward to it, and the trailer really excites me. I know it's a bit more like Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds. I know people can criticise it on that point of view, but again,
I haven't got a problem with Ryan Reynolds. I like Ryan Reynolds.
Just more of the same, you think?
Yeah, like Deadpool 1 was so unlike anything that came before. It was the surprise of it. And even knowing Deadpool the character, he breaks the fourth wall, or whatever it is in the comic book terminology. Fourth panel. he talks to the reader, and again you get him talking to the audience in the film. It was such a surprise that Deadpool 2, they just couldn't recapture that magic, and honestly I don't think there's any way they could have done it.
If you are ready and wanting more of the same stuff, and I was quite happy for that. I did enjoy it.
I enjoyed the two and a bit hours of my life while watching it.
Yeah. It didn't kind of.
I don't think I'll rewatch it probably.
Yeah?
No.
If it's on late night, ITV4 maybe. Give it a go.
Oh, it's definitely an ITV4 film in there, Right next to Hot Fuzz. It'll be on all the time.
Yeah. So we'll move on from that one then.
We can agree to disagree, or agree that Jim is wrong.
Halloween the remake.
I haven't seen it still! I hate you for saying this. How could you see this without me?
I know. It's definitely a date night opportunity they got. Halloween, I did enjoy it. I had high hopes for it. The trailer was really good. I had a lot of trust in Danny McBride and what's his face?
David Gordon Green.
And I think they delivered. I think the whole evolution of Laurie Strode was great, very well handled and executed. Getting it felt like a Halloween film. I don't see too much because I haven't seen it.
I can't believe you saw it with that.
But I really enjoyed that. Again, Cal back doing the score. He done a great. It went a bit kind of modernised the score at the time, but it wasn't terrible. It
was it like his Lost Themes albums?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's obviously going to evolve too, and there's influences.
There is a really good podcast, which the name escapes me, and I'll share the links, where him and his son Cody discuss how they put together the new version.
Yeah.
And although they used like modern methods, it's still a very like acoustic, organic way they put it together.
Yeah.
So I'll drop that in the show notes. It's well worth a listen, mate. Film-wise, they get it completely wrong. Like the guy introducing it, like has his facts completely wrong. But when they just drill down to the actual, the tune itself.
The story was good. I don't want to, because there's things which you shouldn't know. God, it's so hard to say. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. It was good. And the last on my list, which I probably watched before all these, was A Quiet Place. I discussed it before when we done
in episode bling.
Yeah, whatever that was. You
still haven't seen. I have been terrible.
Just a good horror film, I think. TV shows.
Oh, okay.
I've only got two.
I don't do telly.
I'm not sure if you remember Brickleberry, but Netflix they did their second show, which was called Paradise PD. This is kind of South Park, Family Guy, max to 10, very offensive, maybe to some, balls out greatness.
Balls out greatness.
Yeah.
I can see that on the poster.
Yeah. And we talked about Netflix and the whole binge watching, and I definitely watched a fair few episodes in a row. Which I agree. I thought that Jim had a point, because last week discussing, you said how it's not really a thing which you would enjoy, was to binge watch.
Yeah,
something.
It's not my
And I kind of binge watched it. It's like, oh, it's all gone now, So I did think, oh yeah.
It's like you with a box of chocolates.
It is just covered in chocolate and
crying,
like dirty
in your pants.
Yeah. Also was watching The Walking Dead season 9, the latest season.
Still enjoying it?
Well, this end of season 8.
I think you're the only person still watching it.
I probably am, actually.
From what I hear.
And you're welcome, The Walking Dead. I really kind of lost my... season 8 was a bit naff. It's all in the woods. It was a bit shit. The characters were just... Rick's been... fed up of Rick.
Is season 9 they've jumped ahead in time, or was that season 8?
Yeah, so there's a huge gap in time now.
Between 8 and 9?
Yeah, so basically at the end of 8, Rick appears to be dead, and I can give spoilers, can't I? Spoilers. So, but as we all know, Rick was taken by the helicopter people.
Part man, part helicopter.
Yes, I'm not sure, so if you watch season 8, sporadically over the end of season 8, they would show this helicopter in the sky, and it was all mysterious, and these people in a helicopter. And then right at the end, you see Rick in the helicopter. So, which is good, because you're like, ooh, something's going to happen, hopefully. And of course, like Jim said, it's fast forward a few years now, and everybody's a bit older. In their head, Rick is gone, Rick is dead.
Oh, okay.
So it's... And they're exploring little things like they were suggesting that the walkers were talking, which was very dodgy grounds to be walking upon, because I think that would be...
Was that a pun?
That would be, yeah. That would be very stupid to go down that road. It would be too laughable and common.
Bob didn't talk though, did he?
Well,
yeah.
But the Chud and all that kind of shit films.
No, Bub.
Yeah, I know Bub, but the Chud, remember Chud 2 and all that kind of shit like that.
Oh,
yeah, really terrible zombie films. So it was, so he was kind of playing with that idea, but they've explained that away now. There's like this group of people who hide within the herd. What do they call them? They think they call them the Whisperers. So they would like manipulate the herd of zombies. They would kind of like put like a zombie,
like sheepdogs.
Yeah, and they would like whisper, they're over there. So that was kind of. It was okay, but it showed signs that they were trying to progress and trying to do something different. So the reason why I put season 9 down is because I felt a bit of hope for the TV show. So I did kind of enjoy watching it towards the end.
So you'll be back for season 10?
Yes. Is
season 9 finished now then?
No, it's like a midpoint.
The mid-series finale.
Yeah. And then the other one was The Rain, a Scandinavian post-apocalyptic. It was on Netflix.
You were talking about that in the past.
Yeah, check it out, it's really good. So again, I binge watched that. I'm not sure if there's another season out now. I'll have to check that out. Maybe there is.
You go clear Jim's calendar.
Yeah, definitely. But enjoy.
Don't forget, wasn't it like the first season where you watched so much of it you did your back in?
I did. I'm at that age though where laying is quite risky. I really need to consider what I'm going to do the next day. Because if I lay in bed too long, I'm like fucking.
Just got to do some lunges.
Like a plank of wood.
Just do like lunges between episodes.
Yeah. Do some squats. A few albums then, which I've enjoyed, and thanks to
the music.
Thanks to Geraint. Geraint Knott. He posted
He's a fine male nurse in our movie.
He posted a track by Rivers of Nile. And from the album Where Owls Know My Name, really enjoyed it.
Sorry.
Yeah. Where Owls Know My Name.
That's like the best Twin Peaks Cheers crossover ever. Where the owls know my name.
So they're like this kind of heavy, kind of death almost, kind
folk
of grungy
band.
kind of band, and they got and they're really good and they're quite unique because they do all like the riffing and the growling and all that kind of stuff. But there's a random saxophone, and I was like, "Ooh, how are they going to get this guy in?" And they do it. So they kind of like with the solo.
I'm just picturing the guy
so
from
very
Lost
groovy.
Boys.
Yeah, I still believe And another album by Black Tongue. I've been waiting for their third album.
Didn't we do Black Tongue?
Yeah, we did.
Jim?
Yeah. But they got a new album out this year, Nadia. It's more of the same kind of big sound.
A big love letter to Nadia from British Bake Off?
I know. And I'm a death metal fan, so Ingested, his album was good. Level Above Human.
Ingested.
And yeah, just good head banging, riffy, crunchy goodness.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things, like...
I should check my sausages, I think are burning.